So yeah, this past Sunday was Fat Sunday. It was literally Fat Sunday. I mean, it was so fatty. So crappy, so fatty. Yeah, I get it. No, but literally what happened was
Well, what's up, YouTube? This is MrBKrapful Commentaries, episode 50 finally. I said it, 50. So, what am I covering for this last part, you might say? Well, if you look at the trailer, I'm covering 41. My first top viewed video, no offense, YouTube, that I've ever done next to the Christmas episode, which was episode 16. I think its popularity was due to the song, but anyways. So, why am I looking at this one if it's only been 9 episodes ago? Well, it was a reboot, technically, where I needed to change it up. I had to. The style I was doing was not right, and the tags were not going the way I wanted to. So I've redid everything for MrBKrapful. I redid the view and audio discretion is advised. So if you notice in like the earlier episodes, like between 30 and 40, it was like a black type version with angry face. Now it's in like this whitish look with color effect, and I gotten some interesting font for it. Then I redid the intro where I just covered generally across the board of all my intros and just say, you know, why am I still doing this crap? And then the outro, which I improved on, like, I like the second outro a lot, but if you notice, I now have a Facebook page and a Facebook group, which you can go check out, either at the end of the video, once we get through 50. Yeah, and that day in general, I just had a lot to discuss about, you know, just the discontinuing of, no, it wasn't the discontinuing of, it was just, there were still Whoppers going on, the California Whoppers. I think it was the Angry Whopper was starting to go out, and then the Chef's Choice was around, oh no, not Chef's Choice, there's so many frickin' products that have been coming up here lately and then going away, it's screwing me up. The burger shots, chicken shots we still had at that time. Yeah, that day I got hit with so many shots. It's not funny. Yeah, I mean, check out the episode. At least I'm not zoomed in like I was in my other episodes. So I hate zooming in now. I like to sit farther back where you can just see me in general. I've been working on it, if you notice. Well, I don't have to worry about the intro or at least the outro in this video, so I can just keep going on with the commentary for the moment. I gotta keep it up to 5 minutes at least. So we'll have the view and audio discretion vibes, commentaries, discretion. You know, you don't need to know about it. I just do. What else has been happening with the commentaries? And, you know, in general, this episode was just pretty cool. And I got a lot of feedback, and I do appreciate the feedback. You know, it helps me improve a little bit, you know. Am I a fanboy? No. I hate working at Burger Crap. You know, it's not because I love the poster. It's just manager gave me a poster, technically to throw out, and I just decided to keep it and just put it on my wall. I mean, it's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm not a fanboy. I've been there for 4 years now, and still there. Depending on what happens with this inspection, I might be there not that much longer. I mean, I am looking for another job. Do be forewarned. And yeah, I mean, if I knew this was gonna happen about 9 episodes ago when I did the reboot, I'd probably not done a reboot at all. But again, I had to change up the way I was presenting myself and even the tags. So, you know, and I do love the feedback from 41, 43, and 44. So I do appreciate it. Is there anything left about this commentary? Not really. Just that, you know, just looking back it made me feel good. So let's get down to the crap, YouTube. This is episode 50 of MrBKrapful. Or, as you always see in my intro, BKrapful Days. Lol. So now we are for the little intro segment. Let's cover the news. So this is what's been happening as I was doing these commentaries and as I was slagging off Not really. Just been really busy with college and that. First off, if you notice in my previous commentaries, 48 and 49, I've said there's these large fries. It's a true fact. And they've changed up the hat, the black hat, which is now baseball cap style instead of the military uniform style hat. I like the military uniform style. I don't know, it fits better than this one. What other updates have happened? We've got new equipment. We have new onion slicer and new lettuce slicer, because now we're cutting our own lettuce. Oh my god, this is time consuming. Not gonna lie. The devices are interesting, I'm not gonna lie about that either, but it's just really time consuming now, because in order to make sure you have enough stuff, you have to prep a lot of crap ahead of time. Like, you can prep the lettuce and the onions in the early morning, but you gotta make sure you have enough for like all the way till the closing shift, practically, for the joint. Yesterday I did like 4 pans of lettuce, which was not enough, and they had to make more. The mentor I work with, besides myself, suggested I should have probably done 6 or 7. I didn't know. I mean, it's new. It's still freshly new to me. So, you guess you want to know the explanation of how to do the lettuce and the onions. Well, the onions is not that hard. Onions are still peeling, and the device is like a little table, and it's got like this flat surface type thing, but the blade's like right there. So you put the onion onto it, and then you gotta bring the handle has to be used with 2 hands, and you just go down with one push, and it cuts the onions up into like the ring size shapes that you're supposed to have with the tumbler slicer, which probably some of the Burger Kings may still use. I'm not sure exactly. And that's how you do the onions. The lettuce is more of a pain in the ass now, because we're cutting up real head lettuce. It's not the lettuce that's packed in a plastic bag and shit like that. So you take the head lettuce, you have to cut the end off, and you gotta make sure you get veggie wash. Alright, so we have to go to like a second sink that does veggie wash. So we set up veggie wash, we set up the lettuce slicer, and we have this big ass reddish, you know how you make salad, right? Where you have like these salad bowls and they have the little spinner. This is exactly the same thing, except it's just made for lettuce and it's made to drain the water. I'll get more into it in a moment. So you get the veggie wash all set up, and you take whatever amount of heads you want. 1 head covers at least 1 pan. That sounded wrong. I'm sorry. And you just take the head and you just you put it in the water, and you just basically have to submerge it for like 5 minutes. Now, depending on how many you put into the water, I mean, that's gonna be kind of hard to submerge it all at once. So, and this actually sucks, because you gotta make sure you have this other setup prepared ahead of time, because if you don't, you're SOL. So the second part of the setup to this was that there's a like this bath bucket where you have to fill it up to like, I would say about half the bucket of water, plus you had to like maybe do a half of the seafood blue light container of ice, maybe a little bit more, maybe like 3/4 of ice, and you have to like put it in the bath water, and then you gotta put this like the second part of it where there's holes, so you can drain the water when you have the lettuce in there. So you have to make sure that's on top, and you have to make sure there's a lid on it, otherwise it's a critical, apparently. So, alright, so let's say you got that all set up, and you have everything else set up, and it's been 5 minutes for the veggie wash. Alright, you take the head out, you go into the head, take out the core. So, not only do you cut the end, you have to take out the core. So take out the core, you put the lettuce on the device, which is similar to how the onion device looks, and you gotta do the one push thing. And like I said, the one enough size lettuce covers at least 1 pan. So you take the lettuce that you just cut up and you put in the ice bath for 2 minutes. So you have the veggie wash for 5, 2 minutes for the ice bath, and And then you gotta put in the spinner for God only knows how long. I would say like maybe 5 minutes, just so the water's off it. So in general, this process will probably take you about at least a half hour just to do one thing, or at least get it going, to do more than one. And then after you do, spin the lettuce and everything, and you get the lettuce out of the bath water, you put it into a pan, and the pan now has to have a grate, just like the tomatoes. Those who are familiar with prepping tomato, and it's there to drain the water. The lettuce now can be hold up to 2 days. The bag lettuce, if those are still doing it, it's 1 day, and you have to have a time sticker, and you can technically put it in the fridge. But this one, you can have up to 2 day, like a 2 day hold, and have a time sticker on it, and you put it in the fridge. So it doesn't go as bad as quick as like the bag lettuce, which is a good thing. But again, as I stated before at the beginning, it's time consuming. Time consuming. Whew. Alright, so that's one change that's been done so far. There's just so many changes I can't cover in one video. I mean, I could, but it's going to take me like at least 20-30 minutes, maybe, to figure out all the changes that have happened since the end of August. So it's just been ridiculous. So let's see, what else has changed? Oh yeah, we're going to get rid of the wrap soon. They're going to box form. What I mean by that is, you know how the Chef's Choice and the California Whopper is made with a box now? Apparently all our sandwiches are going to have the box soon. It's not just the California Whopper and the Chef's Choice. So if the Angry Whopper ever come back, that's going to be in a box. Why they're doing this? I guess they want to look more professional, maybe? I don't understand that. I prefer the wrap. The wrap is actually quicker and easier. But then again, I could see why they would want to change to the box, because the box probably protects the sandwich better than the wrap. Because let's say, for instance, you do, have you wrapped it completely and you already gave it to the customer, but as they were, in the bag, maybe get unwrapped, but like halfway, and then the sandwich falls out of their hand or something, and then there's a mess in their car. I don't know. Or mess on, no, not really, because if you're eating it, there's not really a possibility. So, yeah, I would say in the car or at their house if they bring it home. But I guess that's why they want boxes. I hate boxes. That is, I break boxes. Now I gotta put sandwiches in boxes. Fucking boxes. So that happened. And like I said, the new fries, they're pretty cool. We also changed our salt and our salt shaker. In the old days, we had like a metal salt shaker, and it just old school. This time around, we now have like this seasonal salt. It's not like the regular ionized salt that people use. It's just that seasonal salt, and we have a new device. If you've been to McDonald's or even Wendy's, they have the same device where you hold it up and it just rains the fries down with salt, and up to a certain point it stops itself, so there's no more extra salt. Which is a good thing, because in this case, if you use the old salt shaker, you couldn't really predict how much salt you could put onto it. There was one time the metal top just came off and salted the entire damn fries, and the fry holder too. So it's just like, fuck. Well, there goes our blood pressure. So that happened. We brought back the speaker. I forgot to mention this. The old days, we had this speaker that was next to the monitor where you could see customers coming for drive-thru. This was helpful. I'm not gonna lie. This was helpful for the kitchen crew, not necessarily the front crew, because when the speaker went down, our manager enforced us to wear headsets in the kitchen. I heard you still need to have one in the kitchen. I call bullshit, because the speaker works just as damn well as long as you have good hearing. It works just as damn well as a friggin' headset. And it saves money, because think about it. We've been having these headsets constantly used and abused. I wouldn't say it's all the kitchen crew's fault, because the people who were using it in the kitchen, they're already fired. So they were probably the ones that damaged them to begin with. But, again, they're gone. We could take care of the headsets better now. But, again, those headsets aren't the greatest thing in the world either. It's not like we have the Bluetooth headset or some special headset that's wireless, alright, like McDonald's or Wendy's. So it kind of sucks on our end, because if those break down, how are we going to take our orders, you know? So I do love the fact they brought back the speaker. It helps. What other changes? Right. I did mention something about the frustration I've been having lately with the sandwiches. Alright, so get this. The broiler we've been having for at least now year and a half, 2 years. You know, the new one where it's electronic and you just shove the food in there and you heat it up for like a certain amount of time, and it dumps itself into a pan. That's great, but the problem with this device, and hopefully some can agree with me, it's slow. It's just slow, because when you need to get the food out and cooked, it's too slow. It really is. Because let's say, for instance, because now we got the Chef's Choice and the toppers, and those fuckers take like 4 or 5 minutes to cook. And we're constantly getting burger sandwiches, we're constantly getting Whopper sandwiches, and we're constantly getting topper sandwiches. Chef's Choice is popular, but it's not going as fast as those 3 products to begin with. But the issue is cooking that product, because the burgers and Whoppers take about 2 minutes, and the toppers and the Chef's Choice take 4 to 5 minutes. So you can see the issue here, and the constant screw around we can have, because let's say, for instance, I run out of toppers. Alright, I need to get more toppers down. But also, we're almost out of burger. It's just like the scenarios I brought back up with the whole steakhouse to Whopper and burger combo I was having issues with the episodes ago. Where we run out one thing, we gotta cook this other thing, and if we don't have that thing done in time, we get screwed with our drive-thru time. I don't know if I have a saying or call for it yet, but when I do think of it, I'll let you know. So yeah, that's, you know, fucked up. I have the old broiler. The old broiler did works. It did wonders, actually. Because it was in a continuous conveyor belt. It continuously cranked out beef. You didn't have to worry about, you know, waiting on time. Granted, the older broiler was probably harder to clean, but it did its job better than the new broiler, I would say. I don't know about you, but I would say it. Now, to the final story, I guess. Because, you know, I would love to talk about my days. But a lot of the stuff I'm talking about in general did happen while I was doing these commentaries. So, it's kind of making up for loss of time. I finally figured out the theory to why our store is going to shut down. And why we're in a collapsing state. Hear me out. Alright, let's go back to, I would say, 09. Probably between summer and fall of 09. First manager that I got to know and work with apparently stole some money. Or some issue like that. I don't know exactly the details. I thought money was missing and they proclaimed this person stole it. But yet again, she's working in
Sorry for the minor interruption,
but as I was saying, so I don't know the whole situation of what happened there. And so supposedly this manager got fired. And the assistant manager, which came from another store, became the manager of that store. Our store, technically. And not a good sign. You probably heard bits and parts of it in all my episodes, but so yeah, this manager ran the store to a fucked up state, because around January of 2010, whatever you want to call it, 2010, half the staff got fired due to either they were stealing food or some other rumors that were going on. Fired. We had no mentors. We have no staff. I was the only one left behind, technically, and like maybe a few others, like maybe 4 or 5 others that stayed. Half the staff, half the kitchen staff actually was gone. Let me clarify that. And, hang on. All these interruptions of just family. So So yeah, half the staff completely fired, and all this new staff came in. Now, who's going to train them? Well, if there's no mentors, I guess that means I have to train them, right? That's pretty crappy, isn't it? Pretty fucked up, isn't it? Because I'm not, at that time, was not technically a mentor. So I went through it and, you know, helped them get trained and shit. But again, I did not know the background to our destruction. You see, there was so much waste going on. There was so much food being completely missing. And just in general, drive time going up. Grade was shitty as... Well, we didn't have a grading system yet, but it was still shitty as fuck. We were technically imploding ourselves. Like, just the pure destruction going on that I didn't realize at the time. Hence why when we go back to my first episode, around that time was when we were having the manager shift again. Because we knew that one manager who took over for that year was doing crap. So, now we're up to today, technically. So we're going to fast forward all the way up to today. Why you think our store is going to fail with our inspection. It all connects. It all connects. First off, we lose a lot of staff. We lose a lot of our workforce. And if we can't keep up with drive-through time or try to, you know, stop producing waste and stuff, we lose labor. We lose labor, we have no hours for more employees to work with us. Without the employees to work with us, we're in this constant, let's just fuck around, our drive-through time and waste, where we're constantly losing labor, and we can't catch up. To the point where there's going to be one person or two people in the kitchen while there's like 5 or 6 in the front, just like, we're going to fuck you over type, you know, scenario. I mean, that's why I think we're going to possibly fail, because we do not have this. It all comes back. Why I kept saying we do not have enough staff, because think about it. If we're going to have to stay on top of our, you know, grade system, our labor, our waste, our product in time, you know, make sure our times are checked, make sure there's stickers on every goddamn thing, we can't do it because there's not enough staff. There's not enough staff for the kitchen. The front staff's constantly chitter-chatter, jabby, and this and that. And in my opinion, I just see it as a unsuccessful job anymore because of that scenario. Because our first manager got fired, our second manager did shit for us, and it made it worse. And our third manager is trying to fix it, but how can you fix a situation where you do not have enough employees to train, you do not have enough mentors to train them, you do not have enough labor to at least have them on there to be trained, and you're constantly throwing them into a scenario where they're not learning properly. I mean, they are learning, and they are, you know, getting on the ball, but they always have, like, this panic look, or they just don't understand. This is the theory of our store getting fucked up. I call it the Whopper pandemonium, like the Whoppermonium, because it's just, what the fuck do you do? How do you fix this? I mean, yeah, you have to have good employees to probably fix it. You gotta make sure you have the speed to stop the waste and everything, but that's a lot of time consuming. It's time to fix it, but you just can't. Anyways, YouTube, I don't know what else to say about it, but that's how I look at it. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, is this the end of MrBKrapful, being I did 50? No, because if I'm still there, I'm still going to make episodes. Because if I still can't get another job, and we end up failing, or end up passing somehow, and I'm still around, I'll still do episodes. Because once I do go away to another college, I could technically work at another burger crap, owned by Crapple's Corporation, and the saga continues. So, I'm going to leave you on that note, and on that, you know, reflection, for MrBKrapful. I would cover other news, but there's so much. Look at the time, alright? This episode's going to be like 20-25 minutes now, so I would cover other ones. I'll probably annotate them right here on my face, you know, just annotate for like maybe 10 seconds, and then end the video. So, yeah, so this is it, YouTube. MrBKrapful's going to sign out. At the end of the video, check out my Facebook page, group, in the subscription or on my video. Usually that link is the page. So, and that's all for now. Oh, so crappy. And I'll, catch up with any more changes that go on. Later. Enjoy that video, YouTube. Subscribe for more videos. Also, check out my Facebook page down there. And I'll see you later, YouTube. MrBKrapful, signing out.